This is a Porsche 993 Carrera 4 with a load of dents in the side of the car. This is one Poorly Porsche, but I'm going to make it better. Now this Porsche is one of my favourite, and this 993 is the last of the air-cooled models before they brought out the 996, which is the first of the water-cooled. I'm going to save this car from looking like a beast and make it back into a beauty. So grab a brew and enjoy.
When I said it looked like a beast, I really wasn't joking. After a few months stored in a garage, this Porsche has been hit repeatedly in one area of the car, and these dents are brutal. Luckily, no paint has been damaged because this car had a good quality cover over it, but this didn't stop it getting damaged. I'm going to repair all these dents with the Paintless Dent Removal method, massaging each of these dents out with steel bars and hammers, and I'm going to show you guys how it's done.
Okay, so I've just lifted up the car a little bit more and just checking underneath the arch, and there's a plastic liner there, so I'm going to take this out and just see if there's any kind of access holes or anything like that that's going to help me get to the back of this damage. So if we have a little look, just got the torch in there. You can see that this is a plastic liner, very thin. There's a 10mm up there, a couple more around there. So I'm going to take this out and see what's behind it.
Holding this liner in place is a mixture of plastic nuts and steel screws, and these are very rusty.
And you can see there, look, that's proper rusty is that one, so I'm going to get some pliers on the threaded side. There we go. Oh yes. So why am I so happy? Well, this panel is single skinned, and what does that mean? It means that there's no internal panel, so no inner arch that's made from steel. I was kind of thinking that there would be, with grommets in there as well, so I'd take the grommets out and then get a bar inside. But with it being single skin, that is miles better. I've got absolutely full access to each individual dent. There you go. That's all single skin, so that is the panel, that is that. Okay, so you want to know how many dents are in this panel, don't you? Let's get counting. $108 dents, or to be exact, 107 on the quarter panel and 1 in the door. Right, so I'm going to get the tools out, show you what I'm going to be using to fix each one of these dents, and yep, let's get on with it. Okay, so if I can avoid using the glue to pull these dents out, that'll be great. Only because the car is a few years old and I just do not want to risk pulling the paint off. So I'm going to be using the bars, like I say. So because this panel is open access, I can use a bar such as the hula hoop or a double bend screw tip bar like this one. Okay, both these bars mean that I can put multiple ends on there, so I can put soft ends like a rubber end on there to lift a lot of damage quickly, and then I can go through to a soft cap and then finish off with a sharp bullet tip. Okay, so there's multiple tools just from these two bars. Okay, so I'm getting the bar inside, pushing the dent out like that, and then once it comes up or it's a little bit proud, I can then tap it back down using various knockdowns and hammers. So which dents do I repair first? Well, I'm going to be going for the furthest how to reach dents first. Once I know I can reach the edges of the panel and repair the furthest dents, then I can work my way back in to the centre where it's all nice and easy. So I've got my line board set up on the first dent, I've checked it and I can get my bar all the way to the back of this dent, put on a plastic soft cap, there you go if you can see it, slide it all the way behind the damage, spot on right on the back of this dent. Right, I'm going to get this out now.
Let me explain what you're looking at. What you see here are the dents with a lined reflection over them. This is a guide to help me repair the dents, and what I'm doing is pushing the dents from the inside, making the reflection of the distorted lines back into a perfect reflection. And this applies to the other 107 dents I'm going to repair.
3 dents down, 104 to go. Oh dear. This one here. Got this one here as well. There's a couple of these dents that are quite deep, and because again the car is a few years old, just don't want to chance anything because the paintwork might be slightly more brittle than a new car would be. So if you just warm up the area, makes everything a lot more malleable and a lot easier and nicer to work with. So I'm just going to, a couple of tighter ones here, just going to warm this area up and then back in with a soft tip. Marvellous.
At the start of the video I did mention this was a right old mess, and this is just the beginning. Some of these dents are quite deep for their size, so I need to repair these with care. I've warmed the panel up to soften the paint and make the metal more manageable. And on the back side of the panel I'm pushing with my PDR bar and a plastic soft cap on the end. This enables me to give some solid pushes without being too sharp. If I was to just use a bare steel tip at this stage, I would likely make some sharp spikes and probably damage the painted surface and make this job unrepairable with the paintless methods.
Okay, so this dent has just locked up a little bit, it was quite sharp, so I need to just tap it back in and make it from a tight little dent to a shallower dent, and then I can lift it back up again. It'll be a lot easier to do it this time round.
The tools I'm selecting to do this are a sharp tipped plastic knockdown and a PDR hammer. And to open up this tight dent I need to carefully tap the edges of the dent inwards, effectively redenting the area but at the same time making this small sharp dent into a wider shallow one.
Okay, a bit more heat and then back in again. Using the same tip. And that is the centre of that sharp dent out. Working my way around the damaged area. Okay, so the last 20 minutes I've been smoothing out quite a few dents. Let's have a look. There we go. So there was a few sharp ones up here that's been lifted out. I just need to swap to a sharper tip. What I mean by that is, at the moment I'm using the plastic soft cap, okay, and I need to change to a sharper plastic bullet tip, something like that. Also, I need to tap down the area, so at the moment I'm using quite a sharp knockdown, so I just need to go to a blunter one, and this will move a lot more metal quickly. Something like that one, that's a cherry cap, okay, and blunter still this leather tipped knockdown, okay. So I'm going to get back into it and show you how I do it.
Changing to this sharp steel bullet tip means I have to be extremely careful and precise with all my pushers. I mentioned before in the video that a tip like this can be too sharp and leave spike marks or worse on the outer painted surface. You can see the damage that it's making to the underside of the body already. I have lots of years of practice using sharp tips and to be able to use sharp tips effectively. On the painted side, you should notice my fine pushers, and I'm lifting up the small low areas and the ripples. Once I'm happy with the progress, I'll go over with a hammer and knock down and carefully tap down those high areas until I get a nice even reflection of those lines from the LED board, and then I'll double check with my quality control disc.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I did start off at that end and I said that I'd do the furthest dents first. I got carried away, so I've done up to about here now, so it is looking beautiful. If I get my line board on there, I'll show you what a difference this is. Oops. Look at that. If we go a bit further, where all those lovely little twinkly dents are, you can see the transformation. There you go. So I'm going to go up here now, where the X is, because above this line I can't get to, because that's where it ends inside. So I'm just going to see how I can get to this. Maybe I can push through some sealer on the inside, I don't know. But I'm just going to work around this edge here and then back around, down the edge and then back around. Then I'm going to finish off in the middle. I've just lifted the car up a little bit more so I can get my hands in there, because before it was right down on the arch. And then going to warm up the area, and using quite a flat but large whale tail, I'm just going to carefully slide it in through the sealer and just give it a little turn and see if I can get onto the back of these dents. Okay, well I'm on one of them, so that's not too bad. It's a good start. See if I can get onto this main dent here. Oh, we're in.
Pushing through this sealer won't be damaging to the structure of the car, as it's a foam type sealant. I'm pushing my bar through a small area and into the next cavity, and using a whale tail type tip, I can use one side of the bar as leverage and the other side as a poking end. This bar creates minimum interference to the vehicle's integrity.
Marvellous. That big dent's come out, this one, the main one. So I've just got a couple of smaller ones just to finish off. These shouldn't take long to do.
Using the same bar, I can wriggle it up a little bit more and reach the smaller dents. These don't take much to fix, not like the main dent.
That is the C-pillar done now. These dents above the line, they're all gone. But I'm going to carry on going down the edge of this panel. As you can see, I've been leaning up against the panel and I'm starting to go yellow as well. The access to this area inside is quite tight, so I was going to try and use a bar like this, okay, but it's quite thick, so I'm going in with a flag tip bar. This bar is a lot thinner and also the end is bent over, so I can I can kind of like lever off something like that. I'm not swearing at you, don't worry. So straight in like that, I can get between the panels and I can easily get to these little dents. Again, these dents have come out really well. Getting to the bottom of this panel now, it's a bit of a stretch going in through the wheel arch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo this this Phillips screw and just see if the rear light will come out. And if that comes out, I can get right onto these dents without having to get a long bar in there. So I'll just take this out. So originally I was looking at this the grommet here. Okay, and I thought, well, I can't really get in there. There's nothing else around. Just didn't even realise that this was part of a bumper. So if you just look slightly up a little bit, see that gap there? Happy days. So I can get onto this lovely dent here. And one there, I think, and one there. So a couple of dents around there. Nice. I might even be able to get these ones as well. To be honest, I think I would have struggled to repair these dents from the arch end, as the panel is wide open, meaning I wouldn't have a good leverage point. So going in the rear end, pushing between the bumper edge and the panel, this will give me great leverage, and I'm also closer to the damage to see my pushers, because I'm sure my eyes are going. This repair has taken me 6 hours and I've managed to fix 53 dents, including all of the hard to reach and potential problem ones. So that means I have 54 dents left to fix, but as the time is 8:30 at night, I'm going home for my tea. Welcome back. So yesterday I fixed all of the outside dents, and now today I'm going to concentrate on the easier dents, bar a couple. So let's get straight into this. It's a new day and these 54 dents will soon be gone. The previous damage took quite a while to fix because some of the dents were in awkward areas, but these should be a breeze to fix. I'm going to bring the camera in close so you can join me repairing these dents. As before, I'm warming up the area to get the paint and metal all nice and manageable. It's less stress on the paint with all the pushing and prodding going on, and the metal will loosen up as it does slightly expand when it's heated, so all this really does help. Sliding my bar in and behind the damage and using the tyre as leverage, I'm starting to rough out all the main dents. The screw tip on the end of the bar is my plastic soft tip, and with the right amount of pressure there's going to be minimum tidy up work with the knockdown in a second. Now it's time to change the screw tip because I need more precision from my pushers. So it's off with the plastic soft cap and it's on with a plastic bullet tip. The main difference between these tips is one's more pointy than the other, hence the name. On the underside of this panel you'll notice the amount of pushers and work that's already been done. The paint has been worn off slightly, but the e-coat is still intact and it won't rust in the future. And that's the great thing about using PDR and also plastic tips. The area that I'm working is where the reflection of the lines is distorted. The larger black line tells me that this area is low and it needs lifting up. It only takes a few pushes to rectify this, and then finally I'll change my screw tip to a sharp steel tip to pick out the smallest of imperfections. Once these have been lifted up, I just need to go over the area with my sharp plastic knockdown and blend the remainder of these ripples until I've got a super clean reflection. That's that area done for now, and it's on to the next cluster of dents. And these are not as bad as the last ones, they're also a bit higher up in the panel, so I'm changing my PDR bar to compensate. The bar that I'm using is my hula hoop bar. The way it's shaped means that from the tyre to the inside of the panel, the bar curves more than the previous and the tip is more in line with the dent.
This stops the tip from slipping when the bar is under pressure, and it's also excellent for damage like this. So much power from the large circle-like shape.
Okay, so I've been going for a few hours now, just smoothing out the middle part of this panel. Let's have a closer look. Just that big one there to do. There you go. So we've got a sharp one there, a couple of other dents around here. Got this nasty one towards the back. And again, there's this one here, which is, like I say, it's quite sharp. So, what kind of tools have I been using for the last hour or so? Well, knockdown wise, I've been using a range of knockdowns from sharp to blunt. There you go. My hammer, double bend screw tip bar. This is the tip for finishing off, for fine tuning. This is the tip I've been starting off the majority of the dents off with. And then got a pocket full of ones here. There you go. So that's all the tools I've been using to repair all those dents. Right, gonna get back into it.
This dent looks like an owl's face, with two big eyes. And it's also deeper than most of the other dents I've repaired, but the process is still the same. Starting off with a plastic soft tip to lift up the majority of the damage, and then open it back up again with my hammer and knockdown to release some tension. Running through my bar screw tips to finish off this dent very cleanly and efficiently. So why choose Paintless Dent Removal to repair your car dents? We'll take this Porsche for example. To repair this at a body shop would be a huge job, and a very intrusive one at that. Depending on the repairer, each of these dents would need to be planished out using a hammer and dolly, or worse, the paint would need to be removed to the bare steel and pulling pins welded to the deepest areas. These would then be pulled on by a lifter and the dent would come out roughly. The pins ground off and then filler would be applied over the top to the rectified areas. That means that this quarter panel would be full of body filler. And then there's the paint. The quarter would need paint matching and painting up to the roof. The door, boot and the rear bumper would need blending for colour and then polishing up once the paint's cured. I would say at least a week's worth of work there, but the PDR method has so far fully repaired each and one of these dents, and the paint is left 100% factory, and it's only taken 2 days maximum to get this far.
This has been a dent marathon so far. I've just got 2 more dents to do, that one and that one. Both of these dents are quite deep, so I need to use the heat gun to warm up the panel and make it more malleable, and then I need to use some soft tips just to carefully lever that damage out. I just need to drop the ramp down a little bit. And that'll give me a bit more leverage on the wheel there for this one. Okay, so I'm getting in directly behind it and start easing the dent out. So I'm going to use my long double bend screw tip bar, and I will start off the dent repair with the rubber tip. Once I've got the dent moving, I'm going to go on to my soft cap with some Tesa tape on there, and then going down onto the plastic soft cap, and then my shaved down bullet tip. There we go. Using this rubber tip has lifted up a lot of the bruising, so the initial impact must have been twice. So it's hit it once and then bounced again, and it's just pulled all of the metal in as well. So This is as far as I'm going to go with the rubber tip, and I'm going to go on to, I'm going to bypass the one with the Tezza tape on there because I don't need to use that tip. I'm going to go straight on with the plastic soft cap. To be fair, this dent has come out quite easy, but because I've lifted it high, I need to now tap it down. So I'm going to go through my knockdowns. I'm not going to bother with that one for now. Go with my sharper plastic knockdown. Just carefully tap those highs down. I've blended down the high spots, but now there's a couple of sharp creases and just low imperfections, so now I'm going to go on to the plastic bullet tip. I'm also going to change my bars as well, so I'm going on to the shorter one. Just take that off, put this one on, right back in. Be very careful just to lift out the those shallow low areas. Okay, that is that dent done, and now on to the final dent. Yes! Okay, here we go, one last time. So I'm just going to pop my screw tip back on, one with the Tezza tape on the soft cap, and then going from before, I can push through the top of the bumper into the quarter panel and directly in. Oh, be a good feeling when this dent comes out. One nice smooth panel, no dents, just a nice smooth Porsche panel. Wow, what a transformation that is. Excellent. That's the quarter panel totally finished now. No more dents on this. 107 dents done. But I've just noticed that I've got one on the door. Oh, damn. So for this, for the last dent, I'm going to be using the glue. Okay, I said that I wouldn't use the glue because I was worried about the paint maybe coming off with it being an older car. But I've done the checks with a paint depth gauge, and I'm happy to go ahead. So I'm going to use a plastic glue tab, pop the glue onto the tab like that, pop it on, wait a couple of seconds, then pull it. Fingers crossed.
The arch liner screws were all rusty and knackered, so I'm replacing them with new ones, and then the arch liner can go back in. The rear lamp is refitted and checked, then the quarter panel is treated to a good old polish.
And that is it. 107 dents removed from his lovely Porsche 993, making it into a beauty again. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, I've got some merch, hats, shirts, cups, stickers. If you want any, go onto my YouTube channel and there's a shop on there. I'm Martin Sadler from Dent-Remover. It's been a pleasure. Cheers.